Hey, Hex, can you talk about how the Merc? Yes. Okay, guys, let me get into it. All right. So on Tuesday is when the conversation started last week. And I called, okay, sorry. Before I start the story, I want to, the disclaimer, okay? This isn't, at any point should you take anything away from this that is anything negative towards Caesar in any fucking capacity. That kid's dope. That kid's good. Fucking love him. He was good while he was here. He was exemplar while he was here. He was good. But I sort of was put in a position by my own sort of insecurities and anxieties. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, I gotta do what I believe is best in this case for this thing. So I called Shotzi and then I texted Brucey at the same time. And he didn't respond. He responded later. So had Brucey picked up whatever and all this. And one of the main, again, okay, it isn't Caesar on his own. It's obviously Caesar as the main AR obviously is awesome. World champion, proven himself, anything, all the good things that you can say. Okay, love skies, correct. But him and Dashy just weren't, you know what I'm saying? Like I just listened to the people around me, right? And hearing the shit that I was already thinking sort of made it more. I am by no means an expert in Call of Duty, even though I've been around it internally since 2006. I still don't know spawns. I still don't know all that bullshit. Okay, that's for somebody else, someone smarter. I hit up Shotzi and I hit up Dashy. Shotzi's the first one who responded. I called him and I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, first of all, let me help you is what I said. And he said, what? And I'm like, let me help you get out of. Let me get you out of your own way and let me help you, man. I got you something. I said, let me get you something. And he said, what? And I'm like, let me get you a faster AR. An up and coming, young, talented dude who you can sort of who you and Brucey can take under your wing and sort of like develop him, right? He's young enough to where he's good enough, and he obviously proved himself, and everybody saw what happened when he showed up at the last event. And I said, yo, let me get you something. I got you something nice for your birthday. And then he said, what? And I'm like, I got you something nice. And I'm like, all right, cool. So once I got him to convince, because he was dead set on not making a change, right? That him saying that is true. He wasn't trying to throw you guys off course or throw the scent off somewhere. He did say that. And then when he called me and I told him that, and he's like, he got a tiny little bit defensive. He's like, well, yo, man, like, you know, he's like, I don't understand where this fucking narrative's coming that I'm the fucking warlord and I'm the one that makes these decisions. And I'm like, and I say, yo, stop right there. You are the fucking warlord. Own it. This time though, it has to be a decision that I have to make for you. So once I got him to understand why, and once I got him to understand that, like, it was common sense, right? At that point, and he says, "All right, yeah, I agree." But he's like, but you gotta let them know that it was your decision, right? So it doesn't, you know, sort of fall back on me again, and I get this fucking blame for something. And in his defense, guys, if you are a competitor, okay, and you see that something's not working, you have to. It's your fucking team. You have to make those decisions. You have to, the friendship aside, we are all here to do one thing, and that's bring some hardware to the Hecz quarters. Okay? Is it true that Dashy didn't want to change? Nobody wanted to change. They wanted to stick. So once I got him on, I got a text from Dashy. I had Shotzi text him also, and we finally, I called them both. I have them both on the phone, and I said, Brucey, let me help you, man. Let me help you by helping you get out of your own way. I got you something. I got you something for your birthday. And I hadn't even made the first phone call. I just made the decision in that moment that we were gonna go after the kid, and then after that, obviously the behind the scenes stuff started to happen. Okay, I'll get to that. In the meantime, though, I talked to Brucey, and Brucey's like, he's like, all right, man, all right. I understand. So nobody was anti that move until I got there, because they were gonna stick it out and they were gonna go down there, and I felt like, man, you know, I asked Zinni, and I say Zinni first because you know, obviously, you know, he knows what's up. I asked Scumpy, I asked Karma, and in no particular order, okay? I asked everyone around me what they thought about that, right? Because it was no surprise. It was no surprise to anyone that there was going to be a lot of interest in this dude. So we started sort of working on it, and I said, guys, for now, just continue like everything is as is. Obviously, continue to practice, continue to do what you got to do. Blah 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 blah. Fat Tony was not taking all the credit at all, and we'll get to that part in a second, okay? But he has a right in to say what what it is, right? So where was I? Okay, so after I got those two to agree, I'm like, all right, you two call Hook, and then just tell him that we're gonna try to make this move happen, and if it doesn't, then we'll just stick it through, and then we can continue to go on and blah blah blah. So it takes around 2 days. So now we're on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. So on Thursday is when we started making the phone calls. So I went in order of things. I'd already talked to Karma and JP about this. So then I called Shotzi. Then I called Brucey. Then once I got those two and I told them, all right, you two go tell Hook. I'm going to go tell Dashy and JP. I'm sorry, Karma and JP. Karu 18, thank you so much with the tier 1. I appreciate that. Thanks everyone for the van shots. Thank you. Fire community show. So then the conversation started. So once I told the coaches are like, you know what? It's the right idea. It's the right move. Caesar on his own. It will be a different story. Caesar as a main AR will be a different story. Blah 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 blah. But we have a main AR. His name is fucking Brandon. Brandon Oteo Dashy. So Blue Dream 928, thanks so much. Elisis, thank you so much for the tier 1. So I called the coaches and I'm like, yo, this is what I'm thinking. Am I wrong in thinking this way? What do you guys think? And they both agreed. They're like, yeah, I think it's the better idea. And I said, okay, all right, well, I'm gonna start the wheels turning on this thing. It's a long process, blah blah blah. I have a meeting with Peterman, with Paige, and with Roger, and I said, all right, this is what I want to do. I already talked to the players. I already did this. You know, I sort of told everybody the same steps that I'm taking you guys through. Durango King, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, to be clear, usually a conversation like this would not happen unless it was in front of a process camera, but because of the amount of stuff that we got going on right now, you know, obviously that. But going forward, you don't expect a conversation like this, or maybe, but usually I would hold off to have this story be told on process. But anyway, just wanna level set. I want you guys to understand that the importance of process is up here. My stream is down here. Well, maybe not there, but down here. All right, so I deploy Peterman to hit up whoever he needs to hit up and to do the entire process. I won't bore you with the details as to how that went. Everybody was very amicable. I thank everybody for the work that they put in getting this thing done. Everybody had the kid's best interest and I know he's 21 and calling him the kid is I hope nobody takes offense to that, especially him. So did you have to go through? Who did you have to go through to Ultra or Ahmed? Ahmed's the one that had the contract. I'm not gonna go into those details. It's not that it's not important, but it's just not something that we should talk about. But went through the appropriate channels. There was really no holdup at any point. Everything took its course accordingly, and then when all the T's were crossed and dots were I'd, that's when it happened. Danny Boy, thank you so much for the prime. So we're on day 2 of having Mercules. You know what I'm saying?